Hey guys, how you doing? It's math time, and I know my camera person might be going, yeah, are you sure? Because this might be the third time we've tried this video. Anyway, hopefully it's working now. Yesterday we worked on division with multiples of 10. Today we're kind of looking at something a little bit different, all right? So let's look at our learning target for today. Our learning target is that we can estimate quotients in problems involving decimals, all right? Our success criteria for that are to recall the two ways that we can estimate, both by rounding and by using compatible numbers. We're going to apply these methods to just working with our decimals, and then we're going to use our knowledge of basic division facts to do our estimation. And your assessment will be how well you do right now, and then the quick check, which you will do a little bit later on in this assignment. All right, so you should be on page 307 in your math book, or if you tore it out, just page 307, that first one. I'll give you just a second to do it. All right, here we go. So our solve and share is a 135 and 8/10 foot piece of construction material needs to be cut into pieces that are each 16 feet long. About how many pieces can be cut? All right, so right here in the box, usually this is where you talk with each other, but unless you're texting each other, I doubt you're talking to each other about this. I mean, if you want to text each other about math, go right ahead, but I don't see it happening. Anyway, so 135 and 8/10 is about what? Yep, that's right, that's about 140, right? And 16 is about what? Yep, 20, right? So if we have 140 and 20, what's our simpler problem? Yep, we've got the 14 and the 2. 14 divided by 2 is, as we all know, 7. So our answer here would be 7. Our zeros cancel out. And there we go. Okay? So is there a different way that we could estimate the answer for the problem? Sure, we could, right? But that's kind of about where we need to go. In this case, did we round? We started with 135. No, 135? Yep, 135 and 8/10. And then 16/10. We ended up rounding it to the nearest 10 in both cases. So that's one way that we could approach it. All right, if you flip the page or look at the next one, and let's look at our game system. Diego purchased a video gaming system for $473.89, including tax. About how much are his monthly payments if he wants to pay this off in 1 year? So something that we need to know in order to figure this out with solving for 1 year would be what? Yep, that's right. We know that there's 12 months in a year. So if you look at the book, I'm also going to put it on the board here. We have 473.89, and we know it's 12. Okay? One way we could do this is we could do our rounding. So last time we rounded to the nearest 10, right? So I'm going to look here. I'm going to look here. My nearest 10 to $473.89 is 470. My nearest 10 to 12 is 10. This should be an easy problem to solve. 47 divided by 1 is 47, and this cancels out. So he's going to have to pay about $47, right? Okay. Now we could also look at compatible numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come with a different color here. And I see that this is 12. So I'm going, okay, I know my multiples of 12, like the dozens are okay. So is there a multiple of 12 that's close here? Be like, yeah, you know what? 12 times 4 is 48. So I could go here with 480 divided by 12. That's going to give me 40, right? Okay. Which of those estimates is actually going to be a better one in this case? Yeah. The one where we did the compatible numbers, right? Because we kept our divisor exactly the same, even though we moved up our dividend just a little bit, right? The difference between this and this and this and this is not that much, but our divisor here is a lot less, so that number is going to be bigger. This is more accurate right there. Okay? And that is actually what they did with Convince Me. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's do a couple practice problems. All right, right, so if we look on the next page, we have number 11, which is 7 divided by 85 hundredths. I'm going to switch to black for this one. Okay, 7 divided by 85 hundredths. And you can be working along here in your book. Okay, so we have this decimal here, right? We need to figure out, all right, what's that close to? So anything over a half, right? If we're rounding it, we're going to go up. Anything under, it's going to stay the same. So 85 hundredths is close enough to 1. So I'm just going to keep this as 7, keep that as 1, and my estimated answer is going to be 7. Does that make sense? I hope so. Let's look at a couple more here to kind of get the feel for it, all right? All right, our next problem is 9 6/10 divided by 91 hundredths. Divided by 91 hundredths. Okay, again, let's start with our divisor and see what we think. Well, 91 hundredths, that's close to, yeah, again, that's close to 1. What's 9 6/10 really kind of closer to? Yep, 10. 10 divided by 1 is 10. You're like, yeah, that's really easy because we're going to 1 every time, right? All right, so let's do one where we're not. Let's look at number 13. That's 17 7/10 divided by 3 2/10. Make sure I've got that right. Okay, I do. All right, so again, let's start figuring out our estimation. We want that simpler problem, right? So we're going to look kind of here and here. All right. Okay, does it make sense to have the 3 2/10 be more of a 3 or more of a 4? What do you think? Yeah. I'd say the 3, right, because we have 2/10, so we're down under. Okay, now, what's close to 17 that we can divide evenly by 3? Yep, you got it, 18. 18 divided by 3 is 6. There we go. Is there another way we could do this if we wanted to? Could I, if I wanted, let's switch to a different color here. Let's go brown. Could I make this as a 4, put that at 16? Yeah, they're not that far off, right? Okay, but which one, again, is going to be more accurate? It's going to be this one right here, because you can see, yeah, 3 times 6 is about 18, so that's going to be a little bit closer to where we are. All right, hopefully you're feeling confident right now, so what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to do numbers 14, 15, and 16. You can pause me, but I'm just going to stay here and wait for you. Okay, we're back. All right, 14, I would say, is 18. Number 14, our estimate's going to be 18. 15, our estimate would be 7. And 16, our estimate would be about 10. I don't know why I circled this one, but I did. Okay? All right, now, is it possible you got something slightly different? Yeah, it depends on how you estimated it, right? Okay? All right, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to do 17, 18, and 19 in your book or on your paper, whichever, and when you bring them back tomorrow, we'll see how it goes. After you do that, log on to Pearson and do the quick check on this unit, which is estimating the quotients of decimals, and see how you do. Hopefully you did well, and we'll check it out tomorrow. All right, on to the next subject.